Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, friends. Welcome to Kindness Rising, where this week we are talking about control. Control not as domination, not as perfection, but as awareness. Yesterday we talked about attention, how easily it can get hijacked. Our favorite things, right? How quietly it numbs us. But today we're going to go even deeper. The moment you try to change something, you run into a question that most of us were never taught to ask. Am I doing this with self-control, or is this becoming self-punishment? Let's begin.
This is Kindness Rising.
All right. Have you ever tried to change a habit and felt yourself tighten up? You're white knuckling it, you're judging yourself, you're bracing for that failure. Well, you're not alone, because on Kindness Rising, it's something we talk about. Today, we're talking about that. We're talking about self-control versus self-kindness. Here's something that I'm learning actually right now in real time, and that's that most of us confuse self-control with being hard on ourselves. We think control means gritting it, denying, forcing it, being tough, toughing it out, getting through it. But here's the thing, that kind of force, it rarely creates lasting change. Instead, it creates rebellion or collapse, and real control, that doesn't come from that point. It doesn't come from a point of shame. It comes from self-awareness, right? That's a really, really important distinction, right? Self-control not coming from shaming ourselves or with grit it out or deny ourselves something or force it, or be tough, grit it out. Sure, sometimes there's moments of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. But being aware of it helps you to push through it. Continuing to white knuckle through something is not going to be a way to make a real change. And that's especially true. That's especially true when things outside of yourself feel unstable. You see, I've gone through some changes right now, changes that are outside of my control. Changes with my family, changes with my job, changes in my body as a 50-something-year-old. Stuff's happening. It's changing. Things are changing, right? And I'm using these principles that we talk about here on Kindness Rising every day to help me get through. And here's something that I have talked about, hinted around at on the outside before, talked a little bit about, but I am going to talk a little bit deeper about it. Good morning, everyone who is coming in. Adam Holroyd, I appreciate you. Hey, Adam, did you ever get your items? I'm interested in your purchase. I appreciate that you went out there on Fourth Wall and helped me by supporting the show and buying some merch. I hope it came out nice. I haven't actually even seen it. I haven't seen the item that you bought, so I'm curious. I'm going to get myself one, though, come golf season. I appreciate it. Roseanne Roof, good morning. Janet Garcia, I appreciate you. Paver Boy, 0729, come on in and welcome. I am glad you have a source of strength that you find clearly in your religion, and I appreciate that and welcome you here. And here's what I was getting at. Here is what I was really getting at, which was the most important thing, the big reveal. Jason is nice. Jason is nice. Okay, who's Jason? Jesus. Jesus. Jesus is nice. Jesus is just all right with me. All right, cool. I've been holding back here. No, here's the thing, and I've talked about this before. Deep inside of me, who I am an addict. I get easily hooked on things. My pleasure centers get triggered really easily, and then I crave more and more and more and more. And then I get to the point where I'm doing something and I'm doing it completely mindlessly because it becomes the status quo, right? And trust me, I consider myself lucky over my life, considering that I know that now that I know about this about myself, and I look back and I go, oh, I never got hooked on an opiate or heroin or pills or any of the other um, uh, highly deadly drugs, right? I mean, that's just what we talk about. Um, but nicotine, absolutely. Marijuana, weed, absolutely. Those substances. But it's even more so about the behaviors, the addiction to behaviors. I don't know how else to put it. Habits, that attention seeking, right? The attention, that's a behavior. And it just about anything. And it can be positive too. And we talked about that yesterday. But here's the thing about my addiction, the way I experience addiction is that something becomes so appealing and so pleasurable for me and numbs out other things that it becomes the sole focus to the detriment of other things. Or I start to lie or hide or downplay how much it's affecting me. Oh, Adam, I am glad that worked out. How was it? Did you like it? Does it fit well? Is it nice? I think it's embroidered like the hat. I really appreciate that you bought the shirt. Thanks, buddy. But anyway, here we are on Kindness Rising. We're not here to talk about my addiction, but we are here to talk about that in the context of controlling the controllables so that we can connect those ideas. Attention control, nicotine, which is something I'm working on right now. I got hooked back on nicotine. I've gone through it in my life, ups and downs and ups and downs, ins and outs. I've quit 1,000 times, half a dozen times. I don't know how many times, but hello, Bob. But I got back into it and just boom, 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 boom. And next thing I know, I'm completely out of control. And what was giving me that pleasurable sensation became necessary to feel normal, to feel like, and I guess that's the very definition of addiction. You need more to get that same pleasure. Yeah, so I'm working on nicotine. As of Monday, so I'm on day 3 right now. I haven't had nicotine. Social media, I quit that. I put that away. It's interesting. I talked about it yesterday. I'm bringing it. I've noticed I got rid of TikTok. I got TikTok. I got rid of TikTok. I got rid of Instagram. I got rid of Facebook. I kept YouTube and LinkedIn. I'm definitely spending less time on my phone scrolling, but I'm still finding ways. I'm still finding ways to get into into other information sources. Oh boy, Alistair Crown. I didn't know we were still on that. Is this what you're looking for? 6'7"? All right. Everyone said they loved the color. I got the gray one. Nice, Adam. I am glad. Bob, 1, 2, 3. Absolutely. Sully, what's up? I find it interesting that acts have naturally high brain activity that probably causes addiction. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, trying to channel those. Sully, we talked about that last time, channeling it into the right thing. But even that becomes that can even become damaging when it starts interrupting life and starts you start making excuses for it, whether it's a behavior or a substance. That's when I know I'm like at this tipping point, and that becomes about self-aware. Yes, Janet, I agree very much. People should be nice. Yes, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a community of people who are kind, right? We're kind to themselves, who are kind to the people around them, kind to the universe, to the environment. Shall I continue? Absolutely. Sorry, just reading through some things. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. So here's the deal, and I guess this is part of the thing. This is just living, living. Things like I was talking about, that immense change happening during right now, things that I don't control. Um, and so when that happens, I'm looking towards myself to say, okay, what are things that I can control? I can control showing up here every day at 7:30 doing this. I can control the substances that I choose to use. I can control my sleep rather than allowing that old pull to happen when that change happens, to get angry, to withdraw, to find a substance to numb out, to retreat into familiar habits. I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting to that. So um and I'm looking at it like this. As I'm adjusting and I'm doing this, it's not because everything is falling apart. The vase didn't get broken. I don't know. I'm trying to make an analogy up on the fly here. It's probably not a good idea, but the point is not because things are falling apart. I'm looking at it as, okay, well, things are taking shape. Sometimes something gets jettisoned from your life because you have to take something else on, whatever it might be. Um, so here's the thing. I can't control the waves. I can't control the waves, but I can control how I ride them. And sometimes I just have to find a way to do that through alignment and not punishing myself and beating myself up over things. I can easily fall into that trap too. I've been talking the game here for 6 months now about pulling yourself up and looking at failure as opportunity and all those other things. And now here I am in this period again, and I've been here again and again and again on my spiral of life, of a little bit of uncertainty and what's going to happen next. And I am leaning into presence and being here in it and saying, all right, well, this is what my loop is. This is what I'm trying to get accomplished. So let's just keep going regardless of what happens my outside of my control. Outside of my control, because I'm controlling what I can. You just can't control air and ocean. Yep. Right, mom, it's not just going through a phase. I see what you're saying here. It's evolution, right? Right. Mm, absolutely. So here's what I'm trying to get to. One of the things that I've been trying to get to, I guess, is that the idea of gritting it out and using willpower to push through. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to do that, but you have to remember that that willpower, that grit, is not endless. It's not a bottomless resource. It's not renewable, really. You power through and then it's gone. Power through and then it's gone. But awareness, that's renewable. When change is driven by force, when you're trying to push through change, your brain's going to resist that. But when it's guided by understanding and your nervous system stays online, that's the other thing, is not letting. I definitely have had plenty of these uh, uh, moments, right? Of, sorry, my nervous system going offline, the cortisol spikes, the adrenaline spikes, all those things from other things that are happening around me. And what I found is when that's happening, to try to reach into understanding and self kindness, a little bit of self compassion. Okay. Not, not babying yourself, recognizing that, okay, giving yourself a moment to bring that nervous system back online. That kind of self kindness, it isn't just, it's not softness. It's actually strategy for yourself to build forward. Absolutely. All right. So I've been yakking about myself. Now let me move on to somebody else. I want to talk about two really important things today because they're connected to what we are talking about here. The first is our kindness spotlight. All right, let's see if I can pull this off again. So I was talking about a little bit about addiction and recovery. They could use, I'm not a huge fan of the word of recovery, but that's okay. And yeah, I've been through it. I definitely have. I've done the AA thing. I have been in therapy. I've worked with my family on this, and the learning continues. And um, came across this organization that is a little bit of an alternative to AA. I've been through AA, and there's some things about it that I didn't necessarily love, but this, it helped me. There's no question about it, and I would never discourage someone who is interested in improving their lives from. Sorry, I would never discourage anyone from investigating AA. There are millions and millions of people who get incredible help from it. So, but I do want to talk about an alternative. If I can figure out what I'm doing. There they are. There they are. This is an organization, an alternative to AA called Smart Recovery. Are people familiar with Smart Recovery at all? I had never really heard of them, but it seems like a pretty interesting organization using a slightly different approach than AA, more than slightly different approach than AA. Through addictive and compulsive behaviors, not through shame, labels, or punishment, but through self awareness, practical tools, and compassion. SMART recovery stands for self management and recovery training. I got it myself into a too many windows situation.
Self-empowered recovery means I get to choose my own actions and reactions.
You're always told what to think and how to feel and what to stop doing. And I think SMART allows you to discover that on your own.
Just knowing I have the choice and making things intentional for myself is what's empowering.
Taking charge of our own wellness. Again, with other approaches, I found them too abstract and mysterious.
Awareness is a big part of empowerment. I'm not going to grow, I'm not going to change if I don't start with just kind of slowing down.
Being really self-directed and allowing individuals to define their recovery, define their pathway, as well as define what success looks like for them.
With SMART Recovery, I'm living my best life
beyond addiction.
All right. So that's their little promotional video. But the point is that it's an alternative, that there are alternatives. There are lots of people I know, as I went through my own work in AA, who are not really enamored with all of the steps and the sponsorships and that kind of thing. And this is an additional method that is proven. And all I'm saying with this is find something, be aware, understand what's driving your behavior, regulating your emotions, interrupting those patterns that have become automatic. And whether that's you do that through the SMART process or you do it through AA, hopefully you're not doing it through gritting through it, through friendship, whatever it may be. Once you become aware of your behaviors in this way and start to work on it, it's amazing. It's amazing to me. And I will tell you from my own experience, how much time, mental time, you get back when you drop your addictions, your addictive behaviors. Again, it's easy to use substances because it's real. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Tangible. But the amount of time that you spend when you're addicted to something, whether that's behavior, and I'm talking about managing it, planning where you're going to get it, keeping track of your stash. Sometimes you're hiding it, so that takes an incredible amount of energy. I know I've had behaviors that I have hidden through shame, and the amount of energy to try to cover up the behavior, but also the shame and the other feelings that come with those behaviors. It's just until you do it, it's almost hard to describe how much time you get back. You don't even realize how much of your life is built around this managing that process and assuring that safety and security that you have, that security of the nicotine, as an example, right? Making sure I have enough to get me through the weekend if I'm not going to get to a store. And I mean, it's very real, very real. But once you figure out how to get past that, it's amazing how clear it becomes. All right. That's enough about addiction today. I want to talk about something and someone else. I've mentioned her before. I'm going to mention her today, and I'm actually going to show you because today is the day. Today is the day that Cheryl Raphael Whittaker begins her program here on the Mornings in the Lab Network. It Starts with Joy Live is coming to the Mornings in the Lab Network, actually at 8:30 today. I'm telling you, at 8 o'clock, get on over and see Keith for about a half an hour, and then you could jump over and catch Cheryl on It Starts with Joy Live, and I will play you her introductory video so you can get a feel for
Can we be real for a minute? Leadership content is usually really smart, but it's also kind of boring. I'm bringing something different to the table, everybody. Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm going to be hosting conversations for leaders who are done performing leadership and are ready to actually live it. If joy isn't your chief operating officer, leadership gets heavy. People feel it, you feel it, and nobody wins. So, starting February 4th, I'm going live every Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern with my new morning show, It Starts with Joy Live. Because the conversations that change us don't happen after editing, they happen in real time. Those I can't do this anymore moments, the boundary moments, the quiet pivots no one sees but everyone feels, and so much more. There's so much more around this. You're not going to just hear from me, of course. I'm bringing amazing guests to the table. Real talk, real leaders, really live. And every week, Beatrice is going to be there. Do you remember Beatrice? She's that inner critic who shows up at every meeting, and trust me, she's probably going to try to run the show. And you'll meet Atlas. He's new. He's calm, cool, unshakable. Together, we're going to talk about leadership, burnout, courage, nervous systems, what it actually takes to lead in the moment, not in theory, from and with joy. This is definitely not leadership theater, but it's definitely going to be smart, human, messy, and it's going to work because it's live. So if you want a show that makes you laugh, think, and come back week after week, subscribe to the It Starts with Joy Live YouTube channel and become a part of it. Wednesdays, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we start February 4th. Fear lost, joy won, and it's all happening live. I know I'll see you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Welcome, Cheryl. Welcome, Cheryl Raphael Whitaker, to the Mornings in the Lab Network. We are so glad that you have chosen to join us here. I am confident that you are going to bring it. I am looking forward to seeing you, hearing your show today. And guess what, guys? She's going to be my guest tomorrow. Cheryl and I are going to have a chat. We're going to talk right here tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. about her experience and how joy and kindness are connected. So come on back tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern and join Cheryl and I. And don't forget to check her out over at It Starts with Joy Live on YouTube. And she'll be there live at 8:30. Join me and her because I'll be in the chat encouraging her all the way. Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. All right. Let's wind it up here. Let's wind it up. Talked about control today. A little continuing our conversation about control and how control isn't about tightening your grip when life gets hard. It's not about white knuckling, right? Gritting through it, pushing through. You got to do a little bit of that sometimes. But what really sticks is when it's grounded in something deeper. Remember, I know I can't control everything that's changing around me, but I do know that I can stay aligned with my values, stay present in my life, be kind to myself, and adapt. That's not weakness. That's wisdom, and that's strength. And I hope it helped you. I know it helps me to show up here 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday on the Mornings in the Lab Network. Get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends at 8 o'clock. And don't forget to subscribe to all the channels. You got Kindness Rising. You got It Starts with Joy Live with Cheryl Raphael Whitaker. You got Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. You got the Jason Hewlett Show. All of us together as the Mornings in the Lab Network, helping you to get up and get after it every day. So I'll see you tomorrow morning when Cheryl Raphael Whitaker will be my guest. Check her out at 8:30 today. Come back tomorrow morning. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.
Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness,
and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity. And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness rising, good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.